how the body actually what burns fat. You see, fat burn in the body is something that is the process where the breaking down of stored fat in the body to become usable energy for the body. And this happens through two process. One is what we call the lipolysis, which is the breakdown of triglycerides into glycerol and free fatty acids. While the second phase through which it happens is what we call oxidation, which is the free fatty acids. They are being transported, being that they have been broken down as at phase one or step one, they are being transported into muscle cells where they mix with oxygen and they are burned or they are further broken down to produce energy, which is known as ATP or adenosine triphosphate. Now, we want to look at how does the body actually what burns fat. The body burns fat. We've mentioned how it burns fat, and we said that it burns fat through two different process, namely lipolysis and oxidation. Yeah, when does the body actually what burns fat? You see, the body actually burns fat when the body burns a mixture of carbohydrate and fat for energy, and the proportion of fat is burned during rest. That is, it burned during one, when the body is at rest. Two, low or moderate intensity exercises such as walking or jogging. Then three, prolonged activity, which actually requires more than 20 to 30 minutes of continual movement. So this is how the body actually what burns stress, burn fat, and when it actually what burns fat. That means the body burns fat when you are at rest, when you are doing low to moderate intensity exercise, and when you are doing prolonged activity exercise or prolonged physical activity. If you're new, if you're not confused about the concept of physical activity and exercise, you can check down in the in the channel or on this page. I've made a video of when I differentiated them, that the two are not the same, although they look alike, but they have a very distinctive difference. You can check out that video. Just search for, you know, difference between exercise and physical activity on the search bar of this channel, and it will take you to that particular video. So let's look at the role of oxygen in fat burning. Does oxygen actually what plays any role in fat burning, or it does not play any role? First of all, fat burning is a vital process that provides the body with energy that is needed for the body's activities. Therefore, be it day-to-day work, whatever kind of activity that the body actually what needs, the fat burning is a vital process for the provision of the energy that this body needs. And mind you, the body stores fat mainly as triglycerols in fat cells, popularly called adipose tissues. You see, you might have heard me talk about adipose tissue and muscle tissue on this channel, whereby I try to debunk the claim that maybe, when people who were fat, they go to gym, and maybe in some cases, even before they go to gym, people will tell them that, don't worry, when you go to the gym, this your fat, you convert it to muscles, and stuff like that. You see, fat tissue and muscle tissue, they are two different things. One cannot be converted to the other. One can be broken down, while the other cannot be broken down. For instance, triglycerides, which is fat that is stored at the fat cells, which is stored at the adipose tissue, which is also called fat cells. They are what? They are meant to be broken down to power muscles and muscular contraction. You understand? So they are like fuel to another system. They can burn, they can be broken down, but muscles cannot be broken down. You understand? And it burns to fuel movement, especially during prolonged or low to moderate intensity exercise. You understand? So just in case maybe somebody is still trying to confuse you that you can convert fat to muscles, you can't actually convert fat to muscles. Because why one he has the capacity to be broken down, the other does not have the capacity to be broken down. You understand? The other only has the capacity to actually what to grow in sizes by virtue of usage and being trained to adapt to heavier load or heavier activities. Let me use that word, heavier activities in quote, using the principle of training, that's loading and overloading. Okay, so let's look at the role of oxygen. Let's go come back to the role of oxygen in fat burning. You see, oxygen is essential for fat to be burned to become fuel for usage in the human body. And this is why aerobic activities or aerobic exercise, which is exercise with oxygen, is key for fat metabolism. During aerobic exercise or aerobic activity, oxygen helps the body with the breaking down of fatty acids inside the mitochondria of the human cell to actually what produce ATP, popularly known as energy. You understand? So oxygen is a key factor for what? For fat burning to actually what takes place. But this is just the first process. The first process for the breaking down of this fat to become fuel, or to start this process of fat burn, it needs what? It needs oxygen. But there's a second phase whereby it does not need oxygen, and that will bring us to anaerobic exercise, which is without oxygen. You see, anaerobic exercise are exercises that include short, intense bursts of activity where the demand for oxygen exceed oxygen supply. That means the demand for energy, it exceeds the oxygen supply. So based on the fact that demand for energy is greater than oxygen supply, the body has no option. It will have to suspend the oxygen required ratio and would demand for what? For the body to release fat that it has actually what? Stored as carbohydrate, which is popularly known as glycogen, because the body can really break down this particular kind of body can actually break down this stored carbohydrate, because it does not require oxygen for it to be broken down. You understand? So why for sustained activity the body needs oxygen to actually what? Break down fat, but for anaerobic exercise, which include high intensity interval training, heavy weight lifting, and sprinting, the body what? Cannot actually what? Collect oxygen or take oxygen from inside the body. So what it does is that it will what? It will request the glycogen that are stored as carbohydrates to be broken down, because they do not need oxygen for this process to actually what? Take place. So why fat is not primarily fuel during anaerobic exercise, this type of training boosts metabolism and it can increase calorie and fat burning after the workout. You understand? So it can increase calorie burn after the workout. Now, this is what we popularly call the afterburn effect. That means if you take part in anaerobic exercise, there's what we call an afterburn effect. So it means that the body actually still burns fat even after the particular exercise actually was done. The, the afterburn effect is that your body continues to burn fat and calorie after the workout. Now, get something. While you are doing anaerobic exercise, while you are doing the exercise, your body burns stored carbohydrates. But after the exercise, the body burns both calorie and fat after the what? After the workout. You understand? So, which is the afterburn effect or the epoch excess post exercise oxygen consumption. Recall that we said that the body actually what? Uh, we said the body, what it needs at anaerobic exercise is it needs more of energy than oxygen supply. That means the body is demanding for more energy than oxygen supply. So although oxygen is being supplied, but it's not enough. But it is when the workout has actually what completed, this particular oxygen now, more of it will now be coming, more of it will now be coming. So based on those demand has not been actually what closed up, then it can actually you know it can actually what burn those particular nutrients. You understand? So let's continue. You see, one of the key things about anaerobic exercise, one of the key things about anaerobic exercise is that it's actually it helps you to build muscles and enhance fat burning after the workout is done by raising your resting metabolic rate. When we say resting metabolic rate, is the rate at which your body actually break down nutrients, both the ones that powers their function as fuel for your body's physical activities, or the one that actually function as as energy or as fuel for the body's physical activity, as well as the one that function as nutrients for the body's uh, production of nutrient that the body needs for its nutrient powering process of the body. Then now here's a bottom line about the concept of fat burn, is that aerobic exercise burns fat mainly during workout, but anaerobic exercise on the other hand actually uh, helps burn fat after exercise by increasing overall calorie use and building lean muscle mass. You understand? That means what this means is that a mixture of both anaerobics and aerobic exercise is most effective for fat loss and overall fitness. This also means that if you intend to actually if you intend to actually get a best and overall fitness, you should engage in both aerobic exercise and anaerobic exercise. For instance, in my fitness center, there is a day we dedicate for for cardio exercises. That's for aerobic exercises, and it's a little lengthy. That entire day is for you know it's for aerobics, cardio exercises. We don't add any other program to it for that day. You understand? So that's how the process of fat burn. That's actually how it actually what happens in your body. So remember that your body burns fat in three different ways. One, while you are while you while your body requires oxygen for this fat to be burned. Then two, anaerobics, which is the one that the body actually burns only carbohydrates, which is high intensity activity or uh, heavy weightlifting. And while your body is at rest, which is mainly the body actually burns only fat at this time, and the body relies more on fat as the energy, because the demand is the demand for energy is actually low at this time. In a nutshell, what this means that when you are doing an aerobics exercise, which is aero for air, just as a way of understanding this concept better, aero is air, is the burning of what? Fats and carbohydrate, and the body burns fat during activity. It improves the body's fat burning efficiency over time. Then the second, anaerobic, without oxygen or very little or no oxygen, it burns carbohydrate, because at that time fat cannot be broken down for this activity to actually take place. But while at rest, it burns mainly fat, because the body relies on fat as the energy. Why? Because the demand is actually low. So that means as I'm talking to you now, what is happening? If it happens that I'm sweating, though little sweat, not too observable, my air condition system is not on, what I'm burning at this moment to talk and whatever is actually what is fat. It's not carbohydrate. You understand? So here are some few points that should actually what take away. Number one, engage in longer session of moderate intensity aerobic exercise to allow the body time to tap into fat that has been what? That has been stored. Then two, maintain a balanced diet that supports a healthy fat metabolism, which includes whole food, and avoid excessive refined sugar. The body, then three, the body burns fat most efficiently during aerobic and oxygen-rich activities. Number four, anaerobic exercises helps indirectly by building muscles and increase calorie burn after workout. Number five, a balanced exercise program should combine both aerobics and anaerobic exercise. That means you shouldn't just focus on one side and leave the other side. You should have a combination. They should have a unison, a uniformity. You understand? So that's just what I want you to actually what? No. Remember that fat burning is a natural and continuous process. So whether you are doing it or you are not doing it, the body actually what is burning fat. Because regular activity and smart lifestyle choices are key to actually what? Enhance fat burning. This is Moses, the fitness master, your number one fitness general. Thank you, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye. Do want to like this video and subscribe to this channel. Follow us across all our pages.